Well, hey guys. Okay, having the second channel has a bit of a learning curve. Okay, so I've made my share of faux pas, and well, let's just add this to the list. The video you are about to see was actually made for the other channel, but it ran too long. And if I'm going to make a video this long, well, then I might as well get paid for it. I apologize, but I cannot promise it won't happen again. And from what I understand, this happens a lot. Okay. To channels with more than one channel. Consider it a bonus. And just the fact that you all put up with me and this, there is a surprise at the end of the video. So you're going to have to stay until the end, okay? Okay. Thanks, guys. Let's enjoy the video. Well, hey everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sheila, and today we are going to talk about the 8 personality traits of a narcissist. Now, believe it or not, we all have one or two of these traits, but that does not make us a narcissist. It may make us a butthole on occasion, but not a narcissist. Whereas a real narcissist will have 5 of these 8 traits on a 24-hour basis. So let's take a look at the 8 traits of a narcissist. Number 1, they have an exaggerated sense of self-importance and they expect to be recognized as superior, whether they actually have the achievements or not. Have you ever worked with that one person at work on a project that they appointed themselves the lead? And then when things start to go south, they blame it on everybody and everything. And then they quit because they can't work with amateurs. And had you not been there to see how everything went down, you would have actually believed his version of the story. Yeah, he's probably a narcissist. He sees himself as the main character. He is absolutely preoccupied with ideas of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, and the perfect relationship. In other words, he lives in a fantasy world. Number 3, the need for admiration. Think about it. Have you had a conversation recently with someone who just kept telling you about the mountains they climbed and the deals they made and the car they drive because they need you to tell them what a great job they did, what a wonderful person they are? I call it the puppy dog syndrome because they need to be patted on the head. Number 4, a sense of entitlement. Now, I see this when I go out to dinner with my cousin. No matter what she orders, she feels like they need to do substitutions because in her mind, she's special and it should be okay if they switch things out for her. Or my all-time favorite, the person who believes because you have much, you should be willing to share, without taking into account that you worked for whatever you have. And if you share, it's your decision, but not out of any sense of obligation to her or anyone else. A sense of entitlement. Exploitive, which basically means they take advantage of other people's situations, maybe even some hardships they're having, in order to achieve something. For instance, let's say you're going to buy a car and you have a general idea of what the car is worth and what you're going to pay. And so you answer an ad and you go and you look at the car and it's what you want. Now, of course, you like to get a deal, but you kind of know what you need to pay. And while you are there, The police show up with an eviction notice from the person that you're going to buy the car from, and you immediately drop your price by 50% because now you know how bad they need the money. That is called exploitation. 6, lack of empathy. That would be the person that is on their way to an appointment and there's a car accident and somebody dies. And their only concern is, how long is this going to take? Because I really need to be somewhere. Lack of empathy. Number 7, they are envious of other people and they also belittle other people. They assume that everyone is jealous of what they have because they are jealous of everyone who has more than them. And they will go out their way to belittle someone who has more just to knock them down a peg. They assume the only way to do something is the way they did it. These are normally the people who want to offer you advice without your asking, and nor do they take your actual circumstances into account. If you have a milestone, they are quick to point out how you could have done it better or how you could have done it sooner. And then they always have a circumstance that tops whatever accomplishment you made. I consider this trait one of the most dangerous because they will take away your joy and they will diminish your accomplishments. Very dangerous people. Finally, number 8, arrogance. Now, I have always considered arrogance the redneck cousin of entitlement. They're pretty much the same, except arrogance has more meat to it, more velocity to it, and just straight up unmoving. Arrogance just doesn't care. It wants what it wants, when it wants it, and it will push anybody out of the way to get it. I went to the doctors during the pandemic, and everybody there had a mask on, including the doctors. But there was this one gentleman that came barreling down the hallway, no mask, and talking on the cell phone as loud as he could talk. And I remember thinking, man, I hope this beep isn't my doctor. And sure enough, he was. I had to change doctors. This is the type of person who would have trash in their hand, but there's no trash can immediately within arm's reach of where he is. And he will see the cleaning service coming. So he will low key drop it in the corner because, well, they're going to pick it up. Arrogance. So now that we've talked about the 8 characteristics of a narcissistic person and the way I've tried to break it down for you, hopefully now when you run into these traits, you will see them for what they are. Low-key, insecure, living in a fantasy world, puppy dogs, pretending to be a big dog. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some legit big dogs in this world, but if they have these traits, they're also narcissistic. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. In the meantime, I will see you all in the next video. Stay blessed and take care.